Good morning. As your county chairwoman, I stand before you today in full support for the passage of Senator John Ossoff's bipartisan HELPER Act to assist first responders in purchasing their own home. This legislation is not just about policy, it's about compassion, community, and empowerment. We live in a wonderful county, and we have the finest public safety professionals serving our residents and businesses. Unfortunately, some of those professionals who serve the community cannot afford to buy a home in the community in which they serve. That's just wrong. This act will go a long ways in assisting our public safety with needed steps and assistance to home ownership. As the chair of the Henry County Board of Commissioners, I have made it my mission in working to find solutions to affordable housing and to advocate on the local, state, and federal levels. I am proud to support Senator Ossoff and other legislators and proud to sign in support of such important and necessary legislation. By supporting this bill, we are just making a statement. We're not just making a statement, we're making a difference and in the lives of those who serve our community. Let's stand together in support of this initiative to ensure that those who so selfishly serve Henry County can enjoy living here in Henry County. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Good morning, all. This is very simple to me. The law of reciprocity says, as you give, it should be given back to you. This is certainly a time frame where the officers here and the law enforcement professionals here in this county gives every single day, sacrifice every single day. This is an opportunity to show them what we stand with them, what we support them, how we support them, and what they need in this time frame to ensure that our communities are safe, to ensure that they're covered, and from an economic standpoint, to ensure that they don't have any concerns as they go forth each and every day to perform the jobs at a very high level that we need them to without having concerns economically. So this bill absolutely makes sense holistically. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, good morning, and thank you, sir. Thank you for spearheading this. This is a wonderful bill. On behalf of the public safety team in Henry County, the entire public safety team, I want to thank you for spearheading this. This is going to be an amazing bill that will support a lot of our young public safety responders that we have. Thank you, and thank you for coming. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Good morning. First off, I would just like to thank Senator Ossoff for having this event and actually spearheading with Senator Rubio, Congressman Rutherford, this effort. I truly appreciate it.
Thank you.
So my name is Sam Royer. I'm a Marine veteran, and I'm actually the original visionary behind the HELPER Act. As a 27-year mortgage banker, mortgage lender, my biggest fight was always for affordable housing, especially for people that serve in our community. As a Marine veteran, I'm very proud of my service, but I never served in a combat role. And I'm actually a Florida resident. Being here in Georgia is very nice. But we have a famous sheriff named Grady Judd down there, and he does something that's pretty awesome. He uses pictures, and as a Marine, pictures are always very important. So I wanted to show, this is Officer Noah Jacob Shavanov of Elwood Police Department. He passed away on July 31st of 2022. This young man was 25 years old. Now, he was fortunate enough to be able to have a VA home loan because he served in the Army prior to, but as a 25-year-old young man, 11 months in, he lost his life in the line of duty. Just recently, in Idaho, Deputy Tobin Bolter, this young man was 27 years old. 7 years he served in law enforcement, and Deputy Bolter leaves behind a wife who is currently pregnant. This young man could not afford a house in the state of Idaho at the rate of pay that he makes as a law enforcement officer. And near and dear to my heart, Daytona Beach police officer Jason Rayner. Jason was 26 years old, and his end of watch was August 17th, 2021. Now, these young men are only in their 20s, and right now recruiting and retention is at such a low point for not only law enforcement, but even just, I'm originally from Pennsylvania. In the state of Pennsylvania, there's a teacher shortage, right? And one man I went to high school with, Dwayne Johnson, a teacher positively affected Dwayne's life. He was our football coach. Teachers, firefighters, right next door is a fire station. I'm very claustrophobic. Running into fires is something that these men and women, they deserve to buy houses in the communities that they serve at a much more affordable rate. So what I would just ask, Speaker Johnson, Leader Schumer, Congress needs to act. This bill has massive support. Currently, we have 25 U.S. senators on board and 133 representatives, with over 400 national, statewide, and local organizations that have joined on to the fight. So, Senator Ossoff, I just give you the utmost credit, sir. You've really, really championed this bill, and I just want to thank you again.
My pleasure. Thank you, Senator. Well, good morning, all. It's a pleasure to be here in Henry County. I want to extend my gratitude to the chairwoman. Thank you for having us. To the commission, to the elected state legislators and local officials who are here, the Henry County team, to the chief, and to my friend Sheriff Scandrett. It is a pleasure to see you as always. And this is National Police Week. This is a week when we reflect on the sacrifices and service of those who protect our communities as law enforcement officers. And I'd like to ask everybody to please give a warm round of applause to all of the officers and deputies who are assembled here today who take care of us. And National Police Week is a fitting moment to announce major progress toward passage of my bipartisan HELPER Act, legislation to help first responders afford their first home. I'm pleased to announce today that we have 25 bipartisan co-sponsors of this legislation in the United States Senate. That is a full quarter of the United States Senate, Democrats and Republicans, who are working to pass this legislation. Now, what does the bill do? The HELPER Act is modeled on the Veterans Homeownership Program. We believe that police officers, sheriff's deputies, EMTs, firefighters, public teachers must be able to afford homes in the communities they serve. And so, like veterans, this will afford those first responders and public teachers the opportunity to buy a home with the same benefits to which veterans have access through FHA. That means an insured mortgage with no down payment and no monthly mortgage insurance premiums. This will help make home ownership more affordable for police officers, sheriff's deputies, firefighters, EMTs, and teachers. Now, why does this matter? First of all, it matters as a question of basic fairness. First responders and teachers are not choosing careers in public service for the money. They're choosing careers in public service because they care about the communities they serve. And we should honor and reward that sacrifice and that spirit of service, particularly, as Sam mentioned, at a moment when recruiting and retention of public safety officials is very challenging. So it matters for fairness. It also matters for community safety and the quality of public service that we receive. We want our police officers, sheriff's deputies, firefighters, EMTs, teachers to live in the communities they serve. We don't want firefighters to have to drive 45 minutes to the firehouse to get to work. We want law enforcement officers to be within and among and part of their community, their neighbors, those they protect and serve, to have those personal relationships, to live alongside and within the public. We want teachers to live in the communities and amongst the families that they teach. So this is a matter of fairness, and this is a matter of ensuring we have public servants who can afford to live in the communities they serve. So again, to recap today's news, in National Police Week, thanks in no small part to Sam's amazing work. Sam developed the initial concept for this legislation. He has been on the road across the country for the last 2 years, helping us to build bipartisan support for this legislation. Today's major news in National Police Week is I'm pleased to announce we have 25 bipartisan Senate co-sponsors of the HELPER Act, a full quarter of the Senate, and that puts us in a strong position to continue working to pass this crucial legislation. And with that, I'm happy to take questions from the press on this or any subject. Richard?
Well, let me ask first about this. What seems to be the holdup with the other 75? This isn't a cash forward. This isn't like you have to have money for this bill. This empowered the FHA to actually serve.
It has a modest cost, but look, it's unusual to have legislation with 25 co-sponsors from both parties. That is an unusual and high level of bipartisan support. Passing legislation is challenging, particularly given how divisive and partisan and even hateful the political atmosphere is. But this is an example of bringing Republicans and Democrats together to do what matters for our communities. And I feel optimistic based upon the level of bipartisan support that we've been able to build so far.
So, Senator, what do you hope that this initiative will build for future state teachers, educators, and
We want police officers, sheriff's deputies, firefighters, EMTs, public school teachers to be able to afford homes in the communities they serve. And that's out of reach for too many. And that's the point of this legislation.
What's next?
What's next is we continue to build support on both sides of the aisle in the Senate and in the House. And we continue methodically with determination and persistence to move this legislation forward toward passage by committee and then by the U.S. Congress.
Is there a timetable for when you'd like to see something like this come up, given that this is an election year?
Well, I want to get this done as soon as possible because it matters immediately for the lives of public servants in communities across Georgia and nationwide.
Let me ask one topic.
Sure.
Question. What's the latest as far as the postal facility in Colorado? I know that you had asked the Postmaster General. Get things moving. I think in 6 weeks or so. It's been about a month.
So late last week, I sent a follow-up letter to Postmaster General DeJoy, insisting that he provide to me this week updated on-time mail delivery information for Metro Atlanta and North Georgia. You know, postal workers are out there in our communities working their hearts out every day to deliver the mail on time. But if they don't have the leadership from headquarters in Washington, and they don't have the infrastructure necessary to do their jobs, they can't do their jobs. The Postmaster General has one job. The Postmaster General has one job: deliver the mail on time. He is failing the people of Georgia. He owes me answers this week on his progress solving this problem. And as I said at the committee a few weeks ago, if he can't solve this problem, I don't think he deserves this job.
Senator, I have one for Mike. This is also about President Biden's visit to Morehouse.
Well, we're looking forward to welcoming the president to Georgia and honored that he's chosen to speak at so extraordinary an institution as Morehouse College to provide a message to those hardworking graduates who are earning their degrees, and looking forward to seeing him when he's in town. You want another one, Richard?
There are obviously some criticisms from some folks in Morehouse saying to those critics may not
Well, this is the United States, and criticism and vigorous debate are essential and protected freedoms. And I would defer to the Morehouse College administration for their decisions and their deliberations. But we're looking forward to welcoming the President to Georgia. It's an honor to have the President of the United States in Georgia, and I'm sure he'll bring a welcome message to those graduates. And let's not lose sight of that. These commencement ceremonies are about young people who have worked hard to earn their degrees and launch their careers and launch their lives, and I'm sure it'll be a special day for them. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you as always.
Commissioner, a pleasure.